So hello and welcome to my podcast, Conversations with David. I am your host, David Owasi. And on this podcast, we're talking to professionals and entrepreneurs across the country. We are learning about what keeps them passionate, what keeps them going. And we're also talking about lessons learned along the way. I am here with my very good friend, Emily Mathison. I am very, very excited to chat with her today. I've known her for quite some time now. And why don't you introduce yourself, Emily?
Hi, thanks so much for having me on, David. Like David said, my name is Emily Mathison. David and I met each other through College Pro Painters. We were both franchisees there. And I work in marketing and sales. I'm based in Victoria, BC. I love the island. I just got a dog in June. He's a big part of my life. Pretty positive person overall.
When I think back to my first year as well as a business owner, College Pro Painting, for me, all I think about was lots of hard work, lots of pain, good pain, right? Lots of growing pain. But I guess for yourself, what would you say was the theme of your first year?
That's a really good question. The theme probably learning to fail fast, to put a couple probes out, try a couple different tactics, and then shortening that time between deciding if I want to continue to pour resources in that, or if I need to pull that back, and recognizing earlier when it's time to pivot. So I made tons of mistakes, but I got better at making my mistakes faster and recognizing them quicker, and being able to take that learning and then apply it to the new path chosen forward.
Can you unpack that for me? So how did that work? How did you track your failures? Was that intentional, or that just kind of happened? Or can you just walk me through that?
Yeah, I think that really, that process was more formalized through this system that with your business coach that you work through College Pro called goal setting and review. So a weekly process where on, let's say, a Sunday night, you're going to sit down and look at what does my business need? When I'm looking at my larger annual goal, and then those are broken down into proximal monthly goals. Okay, now what do I need to do this week to be able to hit those larger goals? So with that, strategizing and deciding what tactics you're going to employ that week, there's some reflection on the week before. What went well, what went wrong, how did I feel about that, how did my team feel about that, and really on a weekly basis, being able to decide what exactly I'm going to carry forward with intention and what I'm going to scrap, because I think it's pretty easy to just get caught in a hamster wheel of working hard but not necessarily working smart. And then also having a business coach was really, really key, to have someone else in an outsider perspective to look in on that planning, and especially someone who I respected so highly and who had a lot of experience and a lot of success in what we were doing. So I'm sure she was able to tell me things before I even went and spent resources on it, of like, oh no, I've tried that, don't bother going down that road. But usually she let me, figure it out for myself, because that's when you learn, is when you're making the mistakes.
Based on that conversation here, the concept or the idea of women empowerment sounds like something you're very, very passionate about. Can you just share with me kind of why that is a passion for you, why that gets you going? Can you just share some more information about that?
Totally. So many reasons.
Of course.
I think personally, I've often worked in male-dominated industries. And I think that it's important to lift women up and show them that you are working in those industries, and there's a face that they can look at and they can say, oh, that person looks like me. So yeah, maybe I could have a seat at that table one day myself. I'm definitely passionate about making women feel more comfortable about stepping into those spaces. My current 9-to-5 right now, I work in tech, but I also work, but our industry is the water industry, and we work with local governments, and the water industry is notoriously male. I made a presentation in Nashville last year, and I think there was like one woman in the crowd, like 100, and they were all like Southern guys, like from the US. It was awesome, like a really cool experience, but super nerve-wracking. So I think it's really important to have resources and tools and support systems out there to help women when they're stepping into those spaces feel like they can own their power a little bit more, and that they deserve that seat at the table.